What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. Today we're going to talk about my arch rival. I am a Celtics fan, but for those who do not know, the Los Angeles Lakers have been on a job. People thought that they can be upsetted by the Portland Trail Blazers. People thought that they would go six. They finished them off in five. Even though Dame did not play in the last game, they still was up 3-1, and they still was able to take care of him, whether, in my personal opinion, he was going to be healthy or not. And even if he would have played, he wouldn't have been the same because of the injury. So that gives them a huge chance of winning it in that favor too. But not only that, people thought that the Rockets could actually beat the Lakers in a 7 game series, and they was able to beat them in five after losing game one, and they beat them pretty convincingly. Some of the games was closer than was bigger than you think. And what I mean by that is the leads might not suggested that they was up by a lot, but that's because that was the end score, not the whole game. So they took care of the Rockets pretty easily, took care of the Blazers pretty easily, and they had blowouts throughout that. And then you look at it, Denver Nuggets have been able to come back from 2-3-1 deficits. And they offense is one of the biggest reasons why. When the Denver Nuggets is clicking, they clicking. They're knocking down threes. They have Jokic, who's basically unguardable one-on-one. And if you leave him open, he can make you pay. You got guys like Michael Porter Jr., that's a wild card. He can get you a double-double. He can spot up from three. He can create from time to time. Jamal Murray, sometimes if he got it going, they're impossible to defend because you have to draw a lot of attention to him, but they have shooters and guys that can punish you and handle or even hit spot up threes. Gary Harris is back. He looked better than he did in the regular season, in my personal opinion. Paul Millsap is starting to get some confidence back. Still not the greatest player, but he's still finding ways to be effective in the minutes that he has been given. And then you look at the Clippers. This team against the Dallas Mavericks have blew several leads, including a loss, being up by double digits by the Dallas Mavericks, and they did it multiple times to the Denver Nuggets, who have beat them the last 2 times after being up 3-1. And you look at that, the Clippers, sometimes they look amazing, sometimes they look predictable, and sometimes they just can't score at all. And the Lakers have been known as a great defensive team throughout the whole playoffs and regular season, and they do have good perimeter players, and they do have Anthony Davis anchoring the middle. Not only that, they have the ability to have answers for the Clippers on the offensive end and the defensive end. I'm not saying that they're going to lock up Paul George. I'm not saying that they're going to lock up Kawhi Leonard. I'm not saying they're going to stop Lou Williams. But if you can contain them and make them take perimeter shots, you will have to live with that because that's what you want the game to be. And even though Kawhi Leonard can torch you from that, I don't know if Paul George and Lou will eat you up efficiently from the mid range, and that gives you a favor. If you got LeBron James, and the only way you can slow him down is by putting Kawhi on him. But you put Kawhi on him, he has a chance of getting in foul trouble. And then on top of that, he's going to be a little bit tired trying to score the basketball at the same time. And then Kawhi Leonard is also a playmaker now, being able to set up his teammates. So that will be a tough matchup for Kawhi just because he has to stay in the game. Plus, he has to be efficient and effective like he usually is on the offensive end. But you also have Paul George. But since Kawhi Leonard and this team hasn't been playing up to the offensive capability that they should be, they need somebody to help Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George have done that in the Denver series, but he will be used a lot more and have to play better defense against a team like the Lakers because they do have perimeter guys that he will have to defend and respect. And on top of that, he might be the primary person on LeBron James, which can make him tired. And you know Paul George is a streaky guy. Sometimes he can get hot, sometimes he go cold, and sometimes he plays okay. But that's good enough against other teams. That's not good enough against one of the best teams in the West, the number one seed in the West. So I do have to give the Lakers credit, even though I'm a Celtics fan. They have played fantastic. They haven't looked terrible in a lot of games like the Clippers have done, like Denver has done, especially defensively. The Lakers have looked pretty good against great offenses in the league, and great duos, great shooting teams, teams that can really give any other team a problem. And the Lakers took care of them pretty easy and pretty convincingly. And then you look at LeBron James. This is a guy that's getting you a double double, whether it's rebounds, whether it's assists, or whether it's a triple double. He's getting out, pushing the tempo, getting to the basket, getting people in foul trouble, finding the shooters, finding AD, and allowing Rondo to control the team. Rondo has been amazing, being confident from three, not scared to take the mid range, pushing the ball to get easy opportunity for himself and teammates, and putting pressure on the defense. Kyle Kuzma hasn't had the playoffs that we thought, but that's good because they've been able to get this far without Kyle Kuzma being amazing. A lot of people thought that Kyle Kuzma was that third guy and they needed him to be great for them to be able to win, and that just hasn't been the case. He hasn't been bad, he hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been that three guy that we thought he needed to be. He might have to do against the Clippers or the Nuggets, but he hasn't had to do it so far, and they still been able to win because of their defense. And then you look at AD. None of these teams have no answer for AD. Jokic cannot stop AD. Neither can Montrez, neither can Zubac. He's going to have a field day. He can get teams in foul trouble too because his ability to put the ball on the ground, spin, and go straight up. And he's so lanky and so long that he can make up a lot of that space just with his arms and his ability to jump and stretch. So he's going to be a matchup problem for any team, and he has been that so far, especially when AD is getting that jumper going. When that jumper is going, he's unguardable because he can always just shoot it or blow right past you because he's stronger or faster than most guys that play the 4 or the 5, and it just becomes such a big matchup disadvantage. And then, as we know, the X factor is the shooting from the Lakers. The Caldwell Popes, the Danny Greens, the Kyle Kuzma giving the space for AD and LeBron to be able to get to their paint, get to their spots without having to worry about being double teamed or trapped. Because you double team or trap them, they can find an open guy and they can make you pay. And another thing, LeBron James, will he be able to continue his 3-point shooting? Because sometimes he hit or miss, sometimes he fall in love with it, and a lot of the times he's not driving as much. He's settling for the mid ranges, he's settling for the pull up threes, and now he's pulling up 4D. So that's going to be a question. Can the shooters on his team shoot? Can LeBron knock down enough perimeter jump shots like he's been doing against the other guys in the series that he was in? That's going to be a key against the Clippers too, as they are athletic, they are lanky, and they do have guys that are strong, like the Morrises, the Jermichael Greens, and the Montrez that can hang with LeBron physically. But they can also stay in front of him and make him take the tough jumpers, which you would live with because it's better than him going to the basket, getting a foul or an and one, or just making it anyway with a layup or a dunk. You rather him get the perimeter shot. So this team has been playing exceptional basketball. This team is worthy of the praise. This team is probably the favorite right now just because Clippers are not even guaranteed to beat the Nuggets. They should beat the Nuggets, but they're not guaranteed to beat the Nuggets, honestly, if they choke up like they've been doing the last 2 games. So when I look at the Lakers and I look at teams like Miami, yeah, Miami got a better record. They only lost 1 game, which was against the Bucks. They might lose more against the Celtics. The Celtics are young. They have a lot of problems with taking care of the ball, shot selection, being a little bit too ISO heavy when it comes to shot selection because they take a lot of tough shots, and if they miss, that's an easy transition opportunity if a team like the Lakers will secure the rebound. Not only that, the Lakers have the perimeter guys to match up well against the Celtics, unlike the Raptors. And even though the Heat do have the guys like Jay Crowder, Andre Iguodala, Jimmy Butler, which can be tough for the Celtics, they also will have a problem because Bam, he's pretty good. He can probably slow AD down a little bit when it comes to making them take contested shots. They don't have an answer for LeBron besides Iguodala, but he looked like he lost a step offensively, which means he can be a dud, and they can just, double team and trap other guys and force Iguodala to beat them. Jay Crowder could be interesting, but he cannot guard LeBron, never been able to do it, but he would punish them if they double team or trap because he can knock down threes. And then you got the Tyler Heroes and the Duncan Robinsons that can cause the Laker problems too, but if they play man-to-man and allow them, because you're not scared of Dragic, you're not scared of Jimmy Butler torching you offensively, if you're the Lakers. And that's something that works in their favor too against Miami. So right now, even though the Heat has been playing more consistent basketball, especially on the defensive end, other than the Lakers, that look like a pretty good matchup. I like the Celtics defense too, but their mental mistakes, their shot selection, and also their ability to go in funks especially against teams that can stay in front of them on isolations. They are also a threat to lose to the Lakers. So right now, I got to give it to the Lakers. They look like the best team in the NBA right now. Obviously, that can change depending on who they get in the Western Conference Finals because matchups and coaching do play a part. And if a team can exploit some mismatches or a team can get hot, they can obviously, play as well as the Lakers. Their defense is going to be great. Their offense is still a little bit questionable for the Lakers. So I really want to see if they can find a way to continue to ride that out and find ways to grind out games. Because if they can play defense, that can turn into offense. And then you have LeBron and AD who can be unstoppable sometimes, especially individually, but they also unstoppable together. But not only that, you look at the fact that they have two guys that can create their own shot, get others involved, and can take over a game or a quarter, which could possibly be the reason why they win the championship. I'm not saying that the Lakers will win the championship. I'm not saying that the Lakers are the best team in the entire world, but what I am saying, they have been playing the best basketball, in my personal opinion, in the playoffs, and they have really showed that the duo do work, and they do have a huge chance on winning it all. I'm a Celtics fan. I don't like saying this. I don't want to say it, but the Lakers look great, and you have to give them that credit. And any team they seem like they can beat, they confident, and they have the bravado that that's needed to go out there and beat those type of teams and beat them decisively, and they have done that so far. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description comment section below. Check out my Facebook page. Link up in the description comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Also, I have over 1,000 videos, so if you like basketball, you need to have daily fix every day. Check out this video. If you like this video, check out my older videos. I have over 1,000, like I said, whether it's players like rookies, legends, and even summer league analysis. I do video footage breakdowns of players, legends, and also rookies, and also summer league breakdowns, NBA draft coverage, free agency, trade deadline, season previews, also top 10 lists. So if you want variety and you need that daily fix, I got you covered. Check out my Spreadshirt to buy merchandise. That'll be in the description comment section below. You can also buy merchandise on my Facebook page. You can go on my Facebook page. I have a lot of shirts and hats on there for display. Pick the one you want. You can't change the color. You can't change the logo color. Message me and I can get it shipped out to you. Other than that, enjoy y'all Monday. I'll be back with another video Tuesday. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm gone. And enjoy your day.